This is the BusyBox. It's being built for a 2-year-old, and the idea is to simulate the effect of a race car. So we've got on board here, we've got some lights on top here, stop, blinkers left and right, caution, another one that lights up for go. We've got on the right side here, this is our gas pedal. Turn our key to turn the system on. We have a radio dial. You can push it and it'll honk the horn. This switch moves left and right for your turn signal. 4-digit display here will show the speed as the gas goes up and down. If you hit the brake button over on this side. Also going to try to implement an odometer effect by storing it in a double EEPROM. This barcode here sits and randomly moves up and down to act like an RPM gauge, and then we have a switch here up and down will show the voltage of the internal lithium poly battery that's powering it, and then it'll also show the voltage that's going to the circuit board. We have a non-functional joystick that's mounted here to turn to use as a steering wheel. So we're going to power it up. Hopefully we'll be able to see the display here. Okay. One thing here, these are red-green RGB LEDs. As you flip the switch, they change color: blue, green, red. And my idea here is to create a combination lock. If he gets the LEDs lit up in the right order and presses the horn, the unit will go into a celebration mode and light up all the lights and do basically go crazy. I haven't got all of our sounds in yet. Internally there are 2 MP3 players with SD cards in them. This one here is the brake. I don't have a brake sound attached to it. We'll flip the switch here. There's the left turn signal, and we'll move it a little closer so you can see left turn. Okay. Right turn signal. Press the horn. And gas. Still working on the code for the speedometer here. Let's see here. We'll turn the dial for the radio if I get lucky. My wife's real good at it. There you go. A little background music. There's the current voltage of the lithium poly battery. And there's the voltage that's being applied to the circuit board inside. Okay. I'll stop this and then we're going to take it apart so you can see inside. Okay, we're back. We've got the lid open here and we're going to try to point out a few things inside here. I guess one of the first things we'll show you here is the The main board underneath here is using an Arduino Mega 2560. There's a development board. Let's see if we can get it zoomed down here. Sitting on top of it that allows our sensors to be easily connected. There are multiple rows of 3 pins that have +5 ground and a signal attached. Zoom back out here to the complete unit. Okay, we have two, as I mentioned earlier, 2 MP3 players with SD cards. They're hooked to UART 1 and 2 on the Arduino Mega. Their output goes to a stereo amplifier. It then goes to a speaker down here and one located up here. These are our 3 position switches that control the RGB LEDs, whether they're red, green, or blue. The back side of our 2x16 LCD display, our bar graph display, and also the 4-digit speedometer, odometer. This is a switch used to determine what voltage is shown on the voltmeter here, the +5 or the +12 range. These are our, each one of the lamps here that showed the stop, go, left, right, caution. They're 12 volts. They're operated by 12 volts. So what we have here is a ULN 2003 that connects to the logic, and then it converts. It allows us to drive a 12 volt source using this chip. The push buttons on each side. The lamps, the LEDs inside are hardwired on. We've got a USB port that's been added here, so we have access underneath. This black object here is the our lithium battery. We've got a step down power supply here. It's taking the 11 to 12 volts off the lithium battery and coming out over here with 5 volts that snakes underneath the board and connects to there's actually underneath here somewhere there's a couple of pins that allow the voltage to be connected up. Gives us a little bit more current to drive all these things that are inside of here, where the Mega by itself simply wouldn't be able to. There's the jumper way inside there. You might be able to see. So let's see if we can get it isolated. It doesn't look like it. But anyways, there's a jumper on the development board that allows the voltage from the top board to power the board below, rather than using the voltage regulator that would normally be your voltage coming in here on this little barrel connector on your Mega. We're using this 5 volt, 5 amp power supply here. This is the back side of our rotary encoder that also has the push button switch. Not much exciting that you can see inside when the unit powers up, other than just the lamps and everything. Really not a lot of action going on inside there. One last thing I have to do right now, I've got the balance connections to recharge the LiPo battery being pulled through a hole, but what I'm going to build a mount here so that basically you'll just the child's mother will just or a parent will rotate the foot underneath out of the way, and there would be a port where the balance charger can be plugged up to recharge the battery when it needs to be. One other thing of note maybe is our little amplifier over here. Let's see if we can get in here. actually has the ability to the green LED there gives us 4 different options of boost from 6 dB to 18 dB on the signal coming in. Let's see here. One other thing that might be of note on our MP3 players, they are being controlled by the serial ports on board the Mega. They simply you tell it which file to play, and of course it just launches it out. One thing I'm going to go back and do is it's called normalizing the sounds, where they can put them all together in the audio editor, and then have the computer level out the audio of each one of them so that they come out with they get played back at the same volume. Before this thing is before it's shipped, we're gonna put a lot of sealant on the threads on the backside of the circuit boards. Basically seal up everything as possible. There's a gasket that goes around here, and then we've trying to round off any sharp edges. The keys, for example, will be epoxied into the slot over there. We do have a little bit of touch-up paint to do. Being my first go at this thing, I should have built and cut out all my openings, and then painted the box, and then put the parts in. But you live and learn, so we'll work for that for Rev 2. So there you go. One little BusyBox for a soon-to-be 2-year-old, and we really hope he enjoys it.